Tell me what you want. I got what you need. I'll give you satisfaction that's guaranteed. You know, some people, they like to give the weatherman shit for being a little inaccurate every once in a while, messing up your day with an improper forecast. When in reality, weathermen hit at like a percentage rate of like 85 to 90%. They're actually relatively good at their jobs. The real people that you need to be out here giving shit about the efficiency and the quality of their job, right? And the quality of their selections and their predictions. Those are people like NFL general managers, the people that are running your professional football programs. Those are the guys you need to be giving a little shit every once in a while for being inaccurate. Did you know that 16.7% of NFL draft picks never play a single down for the team that's drafted them? Did you know that 37% of draft picks play either one or fewer games and never make it past training camp by the team that drafts them? Did you know that 10% of NFL draft picks actually make it to NFL retirement? 1 out of every 10 NFL draft pick makes it 3 years and achieves NFL retirement. As of 2022, did you know that only 7% of NFL draft picks actually sign a second contract with the team that drafted them? Basically, what I've gone about telling you right now is that being an NFL general manager is really, really hard. Being an NFL general manager that selects people in the NFL draft correctly, it's exceptionally hard. Except it doesn't really have to be. It doesn't have to be this hard. And some teams have figured this out. Some teams have figured out it doesn't necessarily have to be that hard. You don't necessarily have to live by those percentages and apply yourself to those percentages if you just do one simple thing. If you do one simple thing, and that's draft Georgia football players. Kirby Smart has placed 52 players in the NFL draft since the 2018 draft alone. 15 of those draft picks were first rounders. Of those 15 players that were drafted in the first round, only 2 of those players have failed to make their second contract. Of those 52 names that have been drafted since 2018 from the University of Georgia, did you know that of those 52, only 9 of them are no longer currently employed by the NFL? Think about that. 43 of the 52 names that have been selected in the NFL draft from the University of Georgia since 2018 are still actively and gainfully employed by National Football League members. So, just so we're clear, Kirby Smart first rounders are hitting at a 13 out of 15% rate, or 13 out of 15 rate, and of the 43 of their 52 draft picks still in the league. That's almost an 83% hit rate that are still surviving in the NFL if you just merely drafted from the University of Georgia. I read those stats and I read them out loud and I bring them to you and I sit here and wonder to myself sometimes like, why isn't everybody applying the draft strategies of the Philadelphia Eagles? Why isn't everyone drafting Georgia players like the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? You're telling me the NFL drafts at a rate of 63%, basically 63% of guys failing to make a second contract, yet 83% of Georgia guys do make a second contract? Again, if you're an NFL evaluator, what are you doing? Why aren't you drafting Georgia football players? Because since Kirby Smart has arrived, they've seemed to kind of be hits. Hits at an 83% rate. If you draft a Georgia football player, there is almost a guaranteed 83% chance that that player is going to be on your roster 4 years from now. That's about as much of a given as we get in the NFL world with regards to draft picks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into tonight's show. Got a loaded one for you. We're going to talk about some great stuff. We're going to talk about the ESPN's Top 100 that came out today. We had practice observations today as well. It is Tuesday, so we're going to have our boy Terrence Edwards on here as well today. We're going to talk about some notable misses off that Top 100 list. And, of course, we're going to give you some observations from not only practice, but the media availability that we had with Oscar Delp and our guy, Marcus Rasimi-Jackson. I want to welcome the boys in today. First of all, gentlemen, how are we doing?
Doing fantastic.
Hey, my sunburn went away, so we're chilling now.
Sunburn went away. One day burn. Not bad.
That's pretty immaculate.
White vinegar.
It was pretty bad yesterday.
It was pretty toasty.
White vinegar. If you get sunburn, put white vinegar on it.
All right, so you're getting a little life advice here on the channel. But I loved it. I gave you guys the challenge. Hey, 9 players no longer on NFL active rosters of the 52 drafted since 2018. You guys made it highly competitive. So competitive that they didn't want to give each other their own answers.
Jay Will didn't want to give me his.
Oh, no. See, I can always tell who's confident and who's not. I got a question mark on one of these answers.
Yeah, I put a question mark
I'm not necessarily feeling the question mark. You can get half percentages for that.
What, even if it's right?
I mean, even if it's right, you get half percentage because you weren't confident.
Oh, my God.
I think that's fair. All right, so these are the names. Not to call these guys out, but these are the guys who have not or are not currently on an active roster in the NFL right now. Riley Ridley, I believe, is only on one of the list, and that is Kirby's. So we miss Riley Ridley there, Jay Will. DeAndre Walker is off of both lists, so both of you suck.
No, I had DeAndre Walker.
All right, you got DeAndre Walker, you don't. So neither one of us are at 100% grade today. Lamont Gaillard, former center, no longer in the NFL. Kirby and our boy Jay Will got that one. Terry Godwin playing in the CFL.
Yeah, that's how I knew, because he was tearing it up in the CFL this year.
Yeah, absolutely tearing it up. Isaac Nada, an easy one. Somehow I forgot him. I always forget Isaac Nada on the fact that he was drafted and the fact that he sometimes even existed. Sometimes I just let that one slip. Both of y'all got Isaac Nada on the list. Solomon McKinley, also a free agent, despite the fact of having started as a rookie with the Miami Dolphins. Really, really weird. Kind of interesting to see him having flamed out. Obviously, everybody knows about Isaiah Wilson no longer being in the league for obvious reasons. Richard LeCount, a new name to this list, having been cut just 2 days ago from the Los Angeles Rams. I would imagine he gets his name taken off this list eventually. He'll probably get picked up, I would imagine. Those are it. So those are the names. Richard LeCount, Saul McKinley, Isaiah Wilson, Isaac Nada, Terry Godwin, Lamont Gaillard, DeAndre Walker, and that's it. Sony Michel just recently retired.
So who's David Bellamy with now?
Davin Bellamy is another miss.
He's on the USFL, I think.
Yeah. So I had him on there too.
But recently on NFL rosters. Recently on a practice roster I believe last fall.
Right.
Didn't Isaiah
touch and go.
Didn't Isaiah Wilson sign with the Titans last year?
He signed with the Dolphins, I believe, actually.
Dolphins and Giants. He got 2 cracks at it. So the Giants signed him and hoped that Andrew Thomas could kind of revive him. Oh, yeah. Nope. And then the Miami Dolphins took him up as if,
And now he's actually suspended for 3 games this year.
For doing what?
Yeah, I can't remember. I just know the NFL suspended
probably
him
that
for 3
trash-ass
games.
rap music he put out.
Yeah, that – damn.
That shit was awful, bro. I think both of you guys did a really, really good job. I don't know. Riley Ridley with the question mark gets that a loss. I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to give Jay Will the win.
Whatever. If I lose on a technicality of that, I'm fine.
Life's
because beforehand
man.
You were like, oh, you're like the guy who doesn't do any of the homework.
So, yeah, you were.
Dude, no, I was just seeing which ones you had. I wasn't like, hey, give me the answer.
I was just seeing which answers you had, not asking for them.
The task was both of you come up with the list and try and guess the 8 players. And so I had my list down, and you're like, yo, what 3 you got down right now?
Bro, I was literally just asking, which ones do you have? I was curious. You're like that guy when everyone's taking a quiz. I'm like, hey, what's number 20? You go, oh, I'm not telling you. You hide your paper to the other side of the
desk. Jay Will
desk.
definitely was the kid that
was that.
You slammed your pencil down when you were done, didn't you?
You went, like
I'm done.
Uh-huh. Maybe and if you saw someone looking, this was you. He's copying me.
Why am I getting this slander right now?
Because y'all slandered me first.
Oh, so your feelings got hurt.
Hey, I'll be honest. I think both of you did a really, really great job.
Thank you.
I mean, that's a hard test. I mean, over 6 years of drafts to nail the ones that actually missed. Again, 82% hit rate when the rest of the league's failing at a 63% rate. That's insane. Again, just draft Georgia football players. You'll probably be all right out there in the NFL. Got a loaded show. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're doing all that good stuff. It's a fine Tuesday evening to be here on the Film Guy Network. I think we